Hello, Art Stars families. I'm Leah Wells, and today I'm going to share with you tips on shading. These are two samples from our Paul Cezanne inspired lesson, and as you can see, we use a lot of crayon work to create volume. So now our flat circles have become spheres, and a lot of different shapes are created, and the fruit really comes to life. For this lesson, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to draw and shade an apple. You can use a marker like I am, a pencil would be great, crayon, anything you have that's available. So what you want to do, apples are basically round and circles, but they don't have to be perfect circles. In fact, sometimes apples have lumpy, bumpy shapes. So don't worry about making a perfect circle, just kind of make a rounded shape. And then we want to make a little area where the stem is coming out. So I like to think of this as a letter V, but not just any letter V. It's really open like this towards the top, and then you can have your little stem coming out of that. Of course, you could add leaves or anything you want to yours. And to make it look like our apple is actually sitting on a table and not flying out into outer space, we'll make a table. So you can do line, jump over your apple line. Of course, that could be a table line, like a rectangle line that goes this way and down to your corner, so it looks like it's sitting on a desk or a table. Or you could do a rainbow line where you go rainbow, jump over your apple, rainbow, so it's like a rounded table edge. Anything you want. Now I want to switch to crayon, or you can use pencil. Those two are great for shading. And I want to start coloring really dark right along the edge here and the bottom. And I'm going to leave it lighter over here because this is going to be where my sunlight is shining this way. So maybe it's a lamp that's shining light this way. Maybe it's sunlight through a window that's shining light this way. But I want to think about the sunlight hitting right there. So this part would be more in shadow. So I'm going to take a crayon. I'm going to go with red. Of course, apples can come in green, yellow, red. But I'm going to go with the traditional red for this. And I'm going to start coloring this left-hand side over here fairly dark. Now there's two ways you can make it dark. Of course, you can press down harder with your crayon using muscle, or you can kind of just keep going back over it, and back over it until it gets really dark. I'll probably use both of those methods. Okay. And then what I want to do is after I've gone almost halfway, and notice I'm not just going in a straight line, I'm kind of going dark, almost like a letter C shape in a way. I'm going dark, dark, dark on the side and a little bit on the bottom right here, and I'm kind of continuing that. And then for the rest of this, I'm going to go super light, 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 light. Barely even touching the paper when I get to my little light source area. And you know what? I might even leave that just pure white where the sunlight is going to be shining the brightest, the highlight. So I might even leave that white. Now, this is looking a little bit better than just a flat one shaded apple, but it's not quite smooth enough. I have my dark darks and I have my lights, but what I need are my mediums. Now, mediums are what take a lot of practice because you want it to be, you're not pressing down quite as hard as I did on this edge here, but I'm for sure not as light as I am as I go towards my highlight. It's just somewhere in between. And the only way to get really good at that is just by practice. You just got to feel how hard you're pushing down. Not as dark as the left, but not as light as what's over here. And then I just kind of step back and look at it. I feel like I want to go over here a little darker, right along that edge, the bottom. Maybe I want a little more of this side darker, so I'm pressing down, I'm going back over it. And then here's my mediums, and here it looks like I can see a little bit of a line. So I'm going to kind of blend that a little bit. Now you guys, if you start doing darks and lights and you see kind of lines where it's not smooth, that is okay. That's actually still going to look better than if you were to just color it all one shade. And the more you do this, it just gets easier and easier with practice. So don't worry if you can't get that smooth transition quite yet. And another thing you can do, if you have a little bit of paint at home, if you have a watercolor tray, or if you have like tempera paint that you can kind of water down, like put a little bit of tempera poster paint in like a cup and add a little bit of water to it and mix it up, and that'll kind of smooth it out. My cat has decided to join. Maggie, did you want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi. So anyway, back to the paint. If you want to add a little bit of paint on this, it's got to be see-through paint, okay? It can't be what we call opaque, because that's not see-through. It would cover up all your crayons. So it has to be watercolor or some poster paint that's been watered down. But you could put this right on top. Check that out. That's just going to add a little bit of brightness to it. I might even leave that little white space. We sometimes call that negative space because there's nothing there, negative, nothing. It's just the white of the paper. I might not paint that. I might still leave that white. And then there you go. Look at that. That's really starting to jump off the page, right? Beautiful. So before I let you guys go today, I kind of want to show you these grapes. I don't want to take up too much time. You guys can have fun doing different fruits and different shapes and compose your own beautiful Paul Cezanne still life. But I did want to show you a few of these grapes. So I'm just going to make a bunch of circles, kind of stuck together, clustered together. They're all touching. And you can cluster them, you know, however you want. Just going to do this quickly. Okay, and then what you can do is maybe get like a green crayon. And what we do, instead of coloring these straight across like that, we just go round and round. Look at my arm. I'm going round and round. And I'm kind of going to go softer and softer until I get to the middle, and I'm going to leave the middle white. So it kind of looks like a little donut. So I'm going to go round and round, kind of darker, darker on the edges, lighter, lighter, lighter. Leave a little white circle in the middle. Or, you know, a white circle somewhere. It could be a different place on your grape. So round and round and round. And leave a little hole in it. Think about donuts. It's making me hungry. Round and round and round. Leave a little highlight. And then later, if you have paint, or you know what, you could even use crayon to go on top of this. But I might use like a little touch of yellow, because that green's almost like too green, right? Grapes are sort of yellow green. They're not dark, dark green. So I might even just get a little bit of yellow paint and put some yellow paint on top of those green grapes. And that's looking really cool. They look nice and shiny, like maybe they were just washed and sitting on the table, ready to be eaten, all sparkly. We like to use a lot of mixed media in Elementary Art Stars, not just, you know, one thing like just crayon or just pencil or just marker. We kind of like to use a bunch of things in one page. And of course you can add leaves to any of these, or apples or pears. You could add, you know, little stems or vines. I mean, you can have fun with that. So we hope you enjoyed today's little excerpt from our Cezanne lesson, you guys. We hope you have fun doing some of these at home. Post some pictures in the comments here and let us see some of your beautiful still life creations. We'll hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.